Hello, this is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show, and we're outside, and we're going to attempt to test this new AUKEY, A-U-K-E-Y, 21-watt solar charger. It's a USB charger, so it puts out 5 volts, and it has 2 outputs, and they're rated at 2 amps each. So we're going to try, we're fighting the clouds. Luckily the clouds are there, broken clouds, so it's keeping it a little cooler out here so I can do this. We're also fighting the airplanes. So we're going to give it a try here. Oh boy. This is the AUKEY. It has 3 panels. Actually, each one of these has a sub panel, so there's actually 6 panels, where this one is the Sun Kingdom. We tested before. It's only good for 7 watts. It has 2 panels, and when I tested it before, it was only getting about 6 or 7 tenths of an amp out at 5 volts. So it was not as much as I expected. I expected to get an amp out of it. Okay, we are now operational. I've got my little D-Rook tester so I can see the voltage and current. And I've got the little load box there to give me a load that I can adjust. And the cloud just got in the way. So this video will probably take a while because I have to wait till the sun comes out. The sun is about 60 degrees on the horizon, so I have to get the panel about in that configuration to get direct sunlight. Now I tried, a few minutes ago, I tried this one, which is has this big variable knob on it to adjust the load, and it seemed like it was not working properly. I'm not sure why, because I would adjust the load in one direction and the load would go up, and then all of a sudden it would go back down. Of course, I was fighting the shade also. So this one is a little less complicated, and it uses this little pot right here to adjust the load. And now we have a helicopter going overhead. Okay, go on. We have a real little airport about a mile from us, and we're pretty close to the track that they use to land and take off. So the planes come pretty close, and since they're just landing and taking off, they're pretty low. And even though it's a very small airport, it doesn't even have a traffic controller. It's very busy with all these little planes, and there's a couple of helicopters that are training helicopters, and they're flying and buzzing around all the time with people learning how to fly a helicopter. But anyway, okay, so we're back to this guy. This is an AUKEY charger. Supposedly puts out 21 watts of 5 volts. Or it has 2 outputs. They're buried down in here. Each should output a maximum of 2 amps. So we're waiting for the cloud to clear. Yep, we don't have enough voltage yet to even turn on this little tester. It requires a minimum of about 3 volts before the display will even come on. So it's giving me a little bit of a load plus the load over here. So the load I'm reading is a little bit lower than the actual load. Okay, there's bright sun. And let's see if I can read this. We're getting 5 volts at 1.5, excuse me, 1.15 amps. So now I need to see if I can adjust the load up a little more without going too far. And I went down. And I went down too. The problem is, as the voltage coming out of this charger goes down, then the current goes down. So I think my load is gone down. Okay, now I'm at 1.28. I got good sun, got a little bit of shade there from the tree. So I've got 1.28 amps out of this thing. Still a pretty far cry from 2 amps. And I do have pretty good bright sun. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to bake out here myself. And let me see if I can adjust that load up a little more without screwing it up totally. And let's see what we're getting now. I can't see it. 1.39. Let me see if I can adjust it a little more before we lose the sun. That's probably too much right there. I am getting 1.5 amps at 4.97 volts. And I've got a pretty good source of sun. I do have to raise this up to get it at the right angle. And I'm losing a little bit of sun on this top panel because I'm getting a little bit of shade from the tree. So it's not at full, it's not full sun. Probably full sun, and 3/4 sun. See if I can move it down a little bit. Now we're, okay, apparently the load is set to 1.5 because that's what it's reading. I'll try to adjust it a little bit higher. See if I can sneak out a little bit more. 1.56. I think that's max for my little load device. 1.61. 1.62. So I think that's about all I can get out of my load, even though the load is rated at 2 amps. I think I maxed out on the adjustment. I had a little bit more. See what we can do here. 1.75. Okay, that is pretty darn close to the 2 amps it's rated at. Now, let's just, for the grins if we can, while we got the sun, and I'm sopping wet already, let's unplug this thing. Okay, so I got 5 volts and I got 1.7 amps. And we're going to fold this up, move it out of the way. This is the AUKEY 2.1 solar charger, and it sells for about $50 to $53 on Amazon. Okay, this is the one we tested before. You could go back to my videos that I tested it last winter. This is the Sun Kingdom. It's a 7-watt, sells for about $25. So let's see what it will do today with a little more intense sun. You can see we only have 2 panels and they're smaller. So I was only getting about 6 or 7 tenths of an amp out of this when I tested originally. I think it was last winter. So the sun was, oh, it's getting a little warm. The sun was definitely down on the horizon. So now the sun's behind the clouds, so we'll have to wait. Let me see if I can get this over there where I can read it. Turn this around. Okay, now this is off right now because we don't have any power at all, or not enough to even turn this on. Plus I've got a heavy load, so let me take this heavy load off. Turn it down, I should say. Yeah, we'll turn it down so we don't have such a heavy load. Because I know this thing won't put out 1.5 amps. So we're going to see today, as compared to when I tested this before, how it does. So as soon as that darn cloud gets out of the way, Sorry this video is so long, but it's the nature of the beast here, trying to test during a partly cloudy day here in Florida. The sun, like I say, the sun's about in that direction, almost in the direction of where the camera is, right behind the camera. Still don't have enough power to turn this thing on, my tester on. Nope, still no power yet. This, I just noticed another thing. This has one port. Yeah, it only has one port. The other one has two ports. And it's advertised as each port can put out 2.5 amps at the same time. So here we go. Still waiting for my meter to come on. And I have a good connection here. Let me take the load off first and see if I still got too heavy a load. Yeah, that's the problem. The meter would not come on because I had too heavy a load. So let me turn this load way down. Okay, I got it down as low as it'll go. It's on right now. I've got 5 volts. I'm not drawing any current, of course. So we're going to plug this thing in, and it killed it. So let's crank this up. There we go. The fan on the load box is running, so it's got enough power. Okay, I got 3.4 volts at 0.62 amps. That's all I was getting before, is about 0.6 amps. And this is always showing woo. Let me get as much sun as I can to slide off the table here. Come on. Okay, it's on now. And I'm getting, I just got it. I'm still only getting about 3.5 volts at 0.62 amps. So this is just not cutting the mustard here. Let me move it around some more. Come on. Is it on? Or just, yeah, it's on. 0.66, 3.5 volts. I don't know if I can turn this load down any further. Down to like a 0.5 amp. Yeah, it did go down a little more. Okay, let me see what kind of voltage we're getting now. We are getting 5 volts at 0.33. That's about the numbers I got last winter. So we're only getting 0.33 amps at 5 volts. And I'm guessing that possibly the best I can do and still maintain 5 volts is probably 0.4 of an amp compared to 1.5 on the other one. So big difference. Again, this is half the price of the other one. This one's 25, the other one's about 55 right now. It was on sale when the gentleman bought it for me for I think about $45, but that sale's over with. So anyway, that's the review. We're gonna go in and get us a towel and dry ourselves off, put this stuff away. If you enjoyed this show, I hope you did, because it's a scorcher out here. Give me a thumbs up. Bye-bye. Oh boy. Wish there was a breeze. A breeze would have helped.